Hey everyone, it's Kat, and today I'll be making a top. Yeah. So, well, I wouldn't say I'm an expert. If anything, I'm just learning. But I do have a few cosplay making experiences under my belt, so I hope that will be enough to get me through this project. Yes, and then so essentially, I will be figuring things out along the way. So I'll show you what works, what doesn't, and everything else in between. So hopefully grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's get started.
So, you might be wondering, what exactly am I planning to make? Well, here's my thought process. Think picnic vibes, red checkered plaid, and countryside princess, but make it wearable. I wanted a top that could match that energy, a little sweet, a little vintage, with a little scrunched up corset look.
So yeah, get started.
To start, I'll need a pattern that fits me perfectly. So, I wrapped myself in saran wrap, laid it with tape and structure. Once that's done, I cut it open, drew the seams, added my registration marks so that I can line everything up later, and then I cut it all out into pattern pieces. Now I'm transferring the pattern onto the fabric. I would show you more of these, but as you can see, my big ass head is completely blocking the view. So yeah. Now that everything has been cut, I sewed the pieces together and then ironed the sides of the folds down. Next, I added boning by sewing strips of fabric to form the channels and sliding the boning inside. We trust the process. As you can see, the petals right now are looking pretty questionable, but it's okay, cause I will be adding ruffles and lace to the front to cover up whatever that is. You can see the intense planning happening here with the positioning. Trust the process. For the first part, I was really struggling because the pattern I made wasn't that good, so I just decided, I think I just use a triangle and rough it up and see how it goes. So that's what I did. It's like a little sneak peek of my other projects in, but yeah. Next, I sewed in the top and the bottom together. The next part I will be tackling is how am I gonna close it. So as you can see here, here's me trying to attach a zipper. But after painstakingly trying to sew a zipper on, I realized that it actually doesn't separate. So that's not very good because I do need, like, you know, those kind of zippers that you have on jackets that can separate. Yeah, I need to find one of those. So anyway, since it didn't work out, I have to improvise. So I came up with another idea. Hooks. So to make the fabric more stable for the hooks, I tried sewing horsehair braid on, and then I attached all the hooks onto the back side. Next, for the sleeves, I cut two rectangular pieces of fabric and then ruffled them with my machine and then attached them as sleeves. Looks good, right? Wrong! Okay, apologies for the jump scare. You thought it was done. It's not. Ever heard of the phrase, like, the back is not my problem? Yeah, that's me right now with these hooks. because when I tried it on, hooks make the fabric warp and it didn't actually sit right on my back. So it was like it had a lot of bumps and I just didn't like it overall. Another issue, I'm gonna be honest, is the sleeves. I really hate these and I don't really like the look of being able to see the white thread on the sleeves, and adding more to ensure that they don't break it's just ugly. Just wanted to highlight specifically this part. Do you see how easily I'm ripping through them? This is definitely not a good sign when you want to wear a garment. Imagine like having it rip while you're out. So I'm glad I decided to redo them. So, new plan on the sleeves. Welcome to my problem board, where I come to solve all my problems and try to explain it to you with my amateur drawing skills. This is also to start finally planning halfway through, yeah. So I'm starting here with the sleeve pattern to show you the baseline of what I'm working with. So you see the top part here that I just drew? Yeah, we're gonna focus on that part. So with my Minecraft R base that I'm currently drawing, I'm gonna try to explain to you and myself on how to make my pattern. No one said this drawing had to be good, so yeah. So essentially, I want my sleeve waist sort of partially off and on the shoulder. So to do that, I need to take my pattern and take off a lot of the bottom part until the edge of the sleeve, so that I'll at least have something to go under my underarm for. Then, for it to be partially off shoulder, I will also take a little bit off the top. So in the end, it should look something like this. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. Time for execution. To make the new sleeves, I measured how long I wanted them, and then I doubled the length so that I give allowance for the elastic. General way of cutting it, I just cut like a similar long rectangle, so but it's slightly cone shaped at like one side. So it's like basically my drawing earlier, but I folded it in half, so it looks like a cone when it's folded in half. I hope you got it, cause I don't got a better way of explaining that. Yeah, so next I sewed the channel for the elastic and then I threaded it through. And then I attached the sleeves to the top of the top. At this point, since I'm going to be adding the grommet, I don't need to worry so much about the additional details. So here I'm adding the ruffled edge. So I add lace to a strip of fabric, like, and then I ruffled it with my machine, and then I attached it to the bottom of the top. So to attach the lining, I cut out the white fabric the same shape as my bodice, and I sewed it in for a clean finish, wrapping around the bottom lace that we added earlier. So moving on, I decided to start with the floating modesty panel. This is because I prefer to have like it covered rather than being open. So just personal preference. So how did I make it was to cut a trapezius shaped piece, lined it, and then added boning to the center, and then finished the edges with bias tape. Then I punched holes for the eyelets. I didn't add too many as it's just to cover the back. So doing the same thing for the lace up back, I marked the holes on where the eyelets should be, and then I slowly poked out the holes and added the eyelets one by one. This took way longer than it needed to be, but like, I don't know any other efficient way. If you have any, let me know in the comments. And just to get a little bit more motivation, I decided to thread it through to see how the final bag looks, and I think it looks so cute. And finally, to hide some of my messy stitch lines, I decided to add a ribbon as a trim, and instantly it looks so much more polished.
So here's the final product. Oh, I'm so proud. Oh my goodness. I really like the fur, like the not the fur, the frills over here. I really thought it's really nice in terms of trying to cover up the boning. And then yeah, and then the back. I made it like a corset-y vibe. I really like the look of it. So all in all, I think this project really helped me learn a lot, especially regarding corset tops. So if you count this as one, because I did use like a few boning here, and then I also made this um floating modesty panel. I didn't know corsets had modesty panels. And I went to search it up because I didn't want like the back to be showing. So I searched it up and I found that there's things like modesty panels and stuff that I could add. And then other than that, I actually really like bias tape. So instead of I prefer that a lot more as compared to like using zigzag stitches, because it's like even though zigzag stitches work really well, it's actually really rough on the edge. So I was thinking maybe I should invest in some bias tape. Other than that, actually, I think normal planning would help. I think in this project I should have worked on like planning out um what I wanted a little bit more. Like for example, with the sleeves, I had a bit of difficulty because originally I wanted to use this fabric as the sleeve, but in the end it didn't really look as nice. And then in terms of like the bag, I should have just planned to have eyelets in the beginning rather than like keep having to change because of like zip issues or any issue in general. And then maybe I was thinking in the future I can do more draft mockups before I start, but I really wanted to complete the project. That's why I just jumped right into it to begin with. So I think I'm really proud of it. I do like it. I'll try it on later. Yeah, and then we'll see the final piece, final product. Overall, it was a really fun experience for me. And yeah, anyways, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much if you watched to the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye!
Wow.